Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. So today I just had like a fun video idea. I really wanted to talk about some products that I'm just getting really excited about, be it from the packaging to the ingredients to what it does for my skin. These are products I am crushing on. The love is growing. And yeah, these are 4 products like this year I'm sending a Valentine's to. I told you, it was just a fun idea. And you know what? We're going to take a little international trip while we're at it because I've got products from all over. I've got, Korea, Japan, France. I've got even products from the UK. So yeah, definitely a nice variety here of products that have just really captured my attention this month. So if you guys are so ready to find out what they are, the products I'm crushing hard on, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. First up is from the Korean brand One Thing. This is their Houttuynia Cordata extract, or H Cordata extract. It's always like a funny word to pronounce, right? Yeah, this has been something that has really captured my excitement and my attention, definitely. I mean, there's lots of things here. Now this brand, indie Korean brand One Thing, and it actually just really reminds me of this like old 80s song from a band called In Excess, which I know probably hardly any of you have heard of, but I just like the song like plays in my head. Like look it up. It's a classic. It's a good one. But anyways, that's not what this brand is about. What this brand is about, one thing, one ingredient, 1-star ingredient, per product. And I think that concept is really intriguing because I have found lots of products that really just focus in on 1-star ingredient to be something that my skin absolutely loves and really responds to. So yeah, we have the H Cordata extract here. This is what I'm starting off with, but they also have their mugwort extract, centella extract, and a 10% niacinamide extract. So one of the first things that I'm loving about this product is the star ingredient, H Cordata extract. Now you've heard me really rave about this ingredient, especially as a supporting ingredient in some of my favorite skincare products like the Wish Trend polyphenols in propolis 15% ampule. And I always shade the name 15% ampule because there's 59% of H Cordata extract in it. And I think that ingredient is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and part of the reason why that serum just works so well for my skin because it is a gentle ingredient. H Cordata extract is not astringent, it's not drying, it's not stripping on the skin, and yet it's so stinking effective for pimples. It can really calm acne down very quickly in such a gentle manner, and it even brings some hydration into the skin as well. Wonderful anti-inflammation benefits, really calming and soothing sensitive skin or irritated skin. It can reduce redness, it can bring down the swelling of pimples, but it also is a great antibacterial ingredient too. So I find it kind of unique as an ingredient that can really fight acne and pimples in a gentle way that is suitable for sensitive skin. Now this is fitting really nicely into my skincare routine. I mean, I must admit, I've only started using this recently, so it is a little bit too soon to talk about benefits. I will definitely update you in the coming weeks once I know what this can really do for my skin, but I'm happy to tell you it's fitting in perfectly into my skincare routine. My skin is really enjoying this. It's really loving it and accepting it perfectly. I put this on right after cleansing. I kind of use it like a first essence. I don't believe that this is fermented or anything like that, but because it is such a thin, quickly absorbed type of texture, it works perfectly just before my toner. So I've really been enjoying it, and like I said, I'll definitely update you on results. But there is one other thing about this product that I'm really crushing on that I think is worth mentioning, and actually something I don't talk about a lot on my channel, and that is packaging. Yeah, this packaging is gorgeous, is it not? And I usually don't care about packaging. It's just never been something that really got me fired up, but I'm actually really, really into this packaging. It's very minimal, it's super sophisticated, and in fact, it might even feel a little bit masculine, and I kind of love that about this. I would probably describe this more unisex because anybody can enjoy this, right? But this is very different than a lot of the K-beauty packaging, particularly, right? Because this product is from Korea. So it is very different in the K-beauty space to have something so unisex, so minimal, so simple. And I think that that's something worth complementing in the skincare space and definitely in the K-beauty space. You know, I mean, I think inclusivity is important in the beauty space, and we're definitely moving towards that. We're always kind of making gains in that space to include as many people as we possibly can. You know, there's that old adage like, oh, skincare is for girls, makeup is for girls, and we know that that's not the case, right? It's for anybody who enjoys it. You know, skincare is definitely something that can make you feel good, and I don't think that that should be off limits for anybody, but I do think that it's nice to have some more simple, minimalistic, you know, unisex type of packaging to make it feel more inviting, so that you can say, hey, you want to have a nice skincare, you know, self-care moment, anybody can have that with this product. And so I think it was worth pointing out. You know, I think most skincare is moving towards this kind of more inclusive model, and I think that that's great. And so I just wanted to compliment the brand for really being smart about that packaging. So the number 2 product that I'm absolutely loving is the Canmake Mermaid Skin Gel UV SPF 50 PA++. Now there are 2 versions of this sunscreen. The one that I am talking about today is the number 1 version, or the clear version. So like many of you guys, I've definitely had my eye on some new sunscreens. You know, I think that we're all, not all of us, but I think a lot of us have been motivated to maybe switch out our sunscreens, or on the hunt for a new kind of holy grail sunscreen. And I've definitely dedicated myself, as I said in my Korean sunscreens video, I've really dedicated myself to, you know, testing out some new products for you guys, giving you some other options. It does take me a long time to test things out. And this, you know, this sunscreen from Canmake is really one of my first testing kind of forays, if you will. I have to tell you, I hate testing sunscreens because it's such a tricky product. It really is. I mean, like, it can be the difference between my skin being clear, healthy, strong, hydrated, and plump one day, and being like red, irritated, raw, dehydrated, and like breaking out the next day. Because sunscreen, I have sensitive skin. I'm sensitive to a lot of things in sunscreens, and so it can really make my skin turn on a dime and go really bad direction really quickly, right? And I'm just so pleased to tell you this is not one of those sunscreens. So here's some things I'm crushing on about the Canmake sunscreen. Now, you know, the first thing is the filters. You know, with everything going on with the Korean sunscreen issue, you know, the common denominator between a lot of the sunscreens that failed was just the 2 chemical filters. Now, I'm not saying that just 2 filters can't provide enough protection. They absolutely can, and they do so in mineral sunscreens, right? But because that was kind of one of the issues, I have been kind of looking for a variety of filters, like more than 2, in my chemical sunscreens. And so this one's really interesting because it uses 5 different filters, and it's actually a mixture of chemical filters and mineral filters. And I always find that really interesting. I have really enjoyed other hybrid sunscreens in the past, and so when I come across them, I do get really intrigued. So this uses Uvinyl A+, Tinosorb S, and it also uses oxytinoate. Now, Uvinyl A+ and Tinosorb S, those are new generation chemical filters that I think we're pretty familiar with. Oxytinoate is definitely an older generation filter, but I do find the combination of the old and new also very interesting, because those newer ones can really kind of help boost up the older ones. This also contains zinc and titanium dioxide. Now, I can sometimes be sensitive to high amounts of zinc in sunscreens. It's really kind of like a weird sort of balancing act with zinc in my skin. It can really dry my skin out. But I actually found this formulation to not be drying at all. I actually really enjoyed this combination, and I didn't feel any like itchiness or irritation around my eye area. Another thing I really like about the ingredients list that I think is actually kind of unique for J Beauty, because this is a Japanese sunscreen, is that it does not contain alcohol, drying alcohol. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with alcohol in sunscreens, but as somebody with sensitive skin, I actually just really can't tolerate alcohol in skincare products. It really aggravates my dehydration. And Japanese sunscreens, generally do contain alcohol pretty high up on the list. It is really helpful in sunscreens because it can help your sunscreen absorb and dry down a lot faster, which means the sunscreen is going to form a better, more continuous film on the skin without getting disrupted as easily. Alcohol has a huge benefit for sunscreens. I just can't tolerate it. So I do find it hard to find Japanese sunscreens that don't contain alcohol. This is one that does not contain alcohol, which is great. And this is also free of fragrances and essential oils. So they do call this kind of like a gel sunscreen, and I think that that's pretty accurate. It does feel kind of like a gel kind of cream as you spread this onto your skin. It's got really great spread. It feels actually quite hydrating, like a gel on the skin. This is definitely not the type of sunscreen that you want to wear for sweaty days, active days, things like that. This is not that type of sunscreen, right? This is just an everyday type of sunscreen, in and out of the house, in and out of the car type of deal. Just because that texture is a little bit thinner, you want to make sure that you are, definitely applying generously. But even so, I mean, it feels great on the skin. It's not too thick. It reapplies really nicely as well. And as I said before, this doesn't dry my skin out or make it feel irritated or itchy, which is huge. And even though this is a hybrid sunscreen with some mineral filters thrown in, I really didn't experience any white cast with this, which is great. Now, I will tell you, I am really highlighting the #1 version, like they call it the clear version. They do have a #2 version that they call white. That does have a slight white cast to it. So just so you guys know, that's kind of the differences there. That one definitely, I got that white cast and like the buildup around my eyebrows. But this one, I like the clear version a lot because it's really, for me, it's really quite foolproof. So I've really been enjoying this one, definitely. I've been recommended this so many times, but the funny thing is, this relates to the first product that we talked about. I always avoided it because, I don't know, I'm so like, the packaging just made me feel like it was just so like girly and just like it was just like for being cute or something like that. Like it was just like kawaii, you know what I mean? And so I just didn't really take the sunscreen that seriously, I guess. And I say that because, the packaging of the one thing, the essence, that was so unisex and so minimalistic, right? And so, yeah, you can definitely get certain ideas about products based on packaging. But needless to say, I'm glad I did pick this one up because this is like, I've just been like loving using this all month long. Now, next up is another product that I broke my low buy for. Well, I didn't really break it. I just didn't anticipate purchasing this. Let me put it that way, right? But I don't regret purchasing it because this has helped my skin so much. This is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Baume B5. And this is, I always get excited to say this is like the original Cica cream. So I've tried a lot of Cica creams, as you know. I own currently a lot of Cica creams, but this is a little bit different. And this is exactly what my skin was craving at this time in the dead of winter. So this uses 5% of panthenol, one of my favorite ingredients because it's so barrier supportive. It really helps your skin get a little bit stronger to fight dehydration, a huge issue that I'm always dealing with. And of course, it's called Cicaplast, right? This contains madecassoside. And that's the active compound in centella, and that's where all the soothing and calming abilities and the skin, like repairing abilities of centella come from. It comes from madecassoside, so it's super concentrated in this cream, and it's just been just the right combination of ingredients to calm my skin down and to really soothe some irritation I have around my mouth and chin area because I didn't anticipate it this winter, but wearing masks, especially like if I have to wear them for a couple of hours on end, has actually like really irritated my skin. In the winter time, I had no problems in the spring, no problems in the fall, a little bit of problem in the summertime, and a little bit of problem in the winter. It's like the extreme temperatures, the hot and cold, just make that area underneath your mask like super nasty, right? We all know the struggles of the face mask by now, right? So anyways, it's definitely made like my needs for like this lower area of my face a little bit higher than what I'm used to. And this cream really came to the rescue because it really helped give relief and repair that irritation incredibly quickly. And I fall in love with creams that bring relief to my skin fast, right? Like I'm sending you a Valentine. Like I'm crushing on this. Love the effect it has on my skin, but the texture, this is super different than most Cica creams that I've tried because it's really thick. It actually reminds me like a sunscreen texture. You can see it like when you get it out onto your skin, it actually looks like a sunscreen. And at first it feels like it doesn't spread easily, but you just have to kind of like I say activate it, or just kind of like warm it up, because then it starts to spread really easily and it actually feels kind of hydrating. Like there's almost like a water burst on your skin. It's really strange. It's got to be the panthenol, but you feel this like humectant burst on your skin. It absorbs really quickly. It actually, for being thick on application, it actually absorbs like medium weight with good moisture on absorption, but it's really protective. It's got that good occlusivity to it, which actually makes this like my favorite sleeping pack right now. Like I put this on top of my moisturizer before I go to bed, and my skin like does not lose 1 ounce of moisture. It's just got that right texture, that right occlusivity. I've actually been wearing this as my moisturizer all over my face sometimes during the day when I know the weather is really extreme outside. If it's snowing, and the wind is like whipping around a lot and I'm getting like icy snow pellets at my face and the wind. Sounds awful, right? Because it is. This is nice because it is so protective. Like I said, it protects your skin as you sleep from dehydration, but it's also protecting you from like those outside like wind burn type of situations too. So I absolutely love it for that. But it's still breathable. It's not heavy on the skin. It's not greasy. It's working fine underneath makeup. I'm wearing some under my makeup today. It's absolutely fine. I've put this on my lips when they were feeling really irritated and cracked. This helped bring relief. Like there's so many different uses for this. Yeah, I broke my no-buy for it, but I don't regret it because I've been using this almost every single day with great results. And the fourth product I'm sending a Valentine to this month is from the Inkey list. This is their Succinic Acid Acne Treatment. This is a brand new product from them. And you guys, this works so good. Wow. That is why I am crushing on this, because it works. And it's particularly exciting for me because I don't usually use or like spot treatments. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, I just really like pimple patches. Like that's my main go-to kind of acne spot treatment. It's just really gentle and it's really effective for me personally. However, all that being said, sometimes you do kind of need that spot treatment in your life. And I've just had really bad luck with spot treatments, like really drying out my skin. You know, maybe they flatten out the pimple if you're lucky, but then it leaves like a huge dry patch on your skin, or just makes your skin super duper irritated or super duper red, right? I've had really bad experiences with spot treatments. I've found one other one that I really do like, but generally speaking, I don't have a very good history with spot treatments. So I actually I just used this last week, and I wasn't expecting much, but I was like, hey, I got a pimple, so let's try this out. Now, this pimple, I'll tell you, it started on the side of my nose, and it wasn't like a terrible pimple, and I figured it would go away pretty quickly. And it was a tretinoin night, so I just like rubbed a little extra tretinoin on that area, and that usually does the trick for me because that stuff is so freaking effective on acne and pimples. It just flattens it out so quickly. And yet it didn't work on that pimple. I was like, what the heck? And so it's like, just leave it alone. Just don't obsess about it. Just leave it alone. It's hard for me to do, but it really is the best thing to do. So I left it alone. I looked at it. I was like, is there a way ahead? Nope. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Put a pimple patch on it. Nothing was really helping it, really. Another day had passed. It was another tretinoin night because I do like every other night. I put more tretinoin on it. Figured that was going to do it. It didn't. It didn't do it. And so I was like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try this out. So I put a little spot of it, and it's weird because it's green. It comes out green, but it actually, when you rub it into your skin, like once it absorbs, it's clear, but it's green. I was not expecting that. It's got really good, it's just like a really light kind of cream texture. It absorbs pretty quickly. It doesn't have any alcohol or anything like that in there, and it dries down into the skin really quickly, and it doesn't leave like any kind of weird finish or anything like that. But holy freaking moly. So it was like 3 days that I had this pimple, like, and it hadn't done anything. It hadn't moved. It hadn't come to a head. The swelling hadn't gone down, right? I put this on at like, I was like 2 in the afternoon. By 8 o'clock at night, the pimple had shrunk down like more than half in size. What? And then I put it on again that night when I, before I went to bed, and I woke up and it was just at a white head. It popped. I put a pimple patch on it, and it's gone. So quickly. Nothing else was working on it, but this worked. And I really think it's the ingredients here, because I think they formulated this with the right combination. Because yeah, they're definitely, you know, they're advertising this on succinic acid. What the heck is that? I have no idea. You know, it is definitely an ingredient that I've seen in other skincare products, but it's like a buffering agent. What does that have to do for, you know, for your pimples? But I guess this actually has some really good like oil absorbing properties to it. So that's very interesting, and that can help, you know, draw a pimple up to a head, right? Or help it go away. But I think really what's definitely at play here, 2% of sulfur and 1% of salicylic acid. And in fact, you know, there is the by Wishtrend sulfur spot treatment, which actually did not agree with my skin at all, and it did not work for my pimples at all. And you know what I said about that product? I said they should really have combined the sulfur with salicylic acid, and that would have made it more effective. Well, here's your answer. They did that in this product, and it worked really well for me, at least for me personally. I'll also tell you, you know, there's 2% of sulfur in here, but it doesn't have a strong sulfur smell. If you really get in there and smell it, you might pick up a little bit of it, but it's not like that straight up rotten egg smell, which I appreciate because nobody likes that smell. So I'm just really impressed because it saved my skin. It saved that pimple. It made it go away so fast, but it didn't irritate my skin. It didn't dry the area out. It didn't make it more red or inflamed or anything like that, which I've gotten with other spot treatments. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to sing the praises too because it's super affordable, all right? So yeah, definitely if you're looking for a good spot treatment, this is a new recommendation. I really, really like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. You know, it was just like a fun concept that I wanted to talk about some products that were just really like exciting me, and this was a great way to do it. So I'm curious, is there a skincare product out there that you want to send a Valentine to that you're crushing on hard? Let me know in the comment box below. If, you know, you made it this far in the video, you enjoyed it, but maybe you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do consider hitting subscribe before you go. I release 2 new skincare focused videos just like this one every single week, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a fantastic Valentine's Day, however you prefer to celebrate. I'm going to be watching movies and maybe drinking hot cocoa. So I can't wait to see you in the next one. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.